Welcome, I'm your theloladass. So today I'm gonna bring you an Athanasy. So this game came out yesterday. This game is developed by Wirion, I think it's like that, and published by 7 Dots. I play one of their games from 7 Dots that they post to, and Phoenix Co. I don't know what is that. Like, I think 7 Dots is for Asia, and Phoenix Co maybe it's to bring to rest of the world. Who knows? But Athanasy is a visual novel where you have multiple endings and a lot of choice to do that will lead to those endings. They said that in terms of endings, it goes from bad to awful. So I think there is no good ending in the game. Like I always say, in terms of visual novels, the priority is a good story, good artwork, and then longevity. It depends on how the game is. Like if it has multiple endings, 2 to 3 hours, like that the player can see the other endings, the other branch, right, and the different endings. And if it has one ending, to max 4 hours. But in this game, like developers say, it's between 5 to 10 hours. So it's like, of course, it depends on how you read at the same time too. But it's like, that's one thing. I understand at the same time that is to be worth the money that the price that they put on Steam, but at the same time developers need to see the perspective of the player, because the player wants to see in one day the multiple endings, and at the same time they want to beat the game if it only has one ending. They don't want to leave to the other day and continue with the story. So they need to see the perspective of the player too. At the same time, this is an horror visual novel, and bio horror, because this like in the future too. At the same time, you're gonna understand why I say about that too. Seems interesting, so let's go start working. Flash was everywhere. The one on the other side was wrinkled and smooth, blue, black, yellow, white, waxy like a candle reddish in the place where you touch and apply pressure. Hot with droplets of sweat, soaked, unable to feel anything, even if you poke it with a knife, sensitive to the slightest breeze. And the one inside too, the moist underside of man, not red as it might seem at first, not even pink, grey, like anything that appears in the dark. The flesh has become a black, greasy land, and the jungle that grows on it. For too long we have been animals, it's time to become the forests. A 40-year-old woman was passing the sidewalk, her face hidden by a black sack. 2 masked men were holding her gently by the elbows, pointing the way to the hearse. Another victim of death over life, a sad but dignified spectacle. It's a good thing there is a temple of tender death nowadays. The city takes care of us, protects us from all the pain and old age. I shuddered, remembering today's dream. I wonder how long my frail body will last. How much will I be able to do for the city? The car started towards the Temple of Tender Death. I glanced at it, then crossed the road and ducked into one of the confessionals. I should have talked to Neuberg a long time ago. I had put it off for too long. I hadn't been in my confessor's booth since the day of the final build, since I was 16. The booth hasn't changed a bit, it just looks older now. Neuberg, the inner troubleshooter, sent to us by the machines of loving grace, the one who listens, warns, and fixes errors. They remove abnormal particles from the mind, which might seem to be very personal and important thoughts at first, but in fact they can lead a person into utter despair. That seems to be exactly what I need right now. I insert my punch card into the reader. Greetings, Josiah. You haven't visited me in a long time. I've been very busy since the final build and the moving. At your age is forgivable. Entering adulthood is a time of trials and tribulations. What brings you here? Reveal the soul, avoid the answer. Let's avoid the answer. I think I'll keep quiet about my heretical dreams. I dreamed some nonsense. Scraps of yesterday events, sunshine running through the grass, image coming from the windows. We all dream of sunshine and wind. The face on the screen completely disappeared in the interference, and for a second the terminal of the confessional hung. Well, heed to your new achievements with a light heart. Okay. I walked down Mirsaw's Man Broad Street, stopping occasionally at the oxidizers. Slightly inconspicuous device kept injecting jets of fresh air into the cavities of the city from the grey flesh of the walls. I wanted to feel the touch of this invisible flow. I unbuttoned my sleeve and held out my bare hand. It immediately gave me goosebumps. The breeze was mesmerizing. People neglect the sense of touch too much. They are too mesmerized by the sounds of the streets, the green lights of the luminophores, the fake but no less appealing landscapes in lightbox. That day it was showing the sun. The biopixel screens are constantly updated with images from the past world, the world before the Purple Death, when out there still existed. They say those are shown to keep the circadian rhythms going, but I think the reason is for us to remember what we have lost forever, what remains only in the archive of the infinite library. I stopped on the central light box with a rectangle of deep blue and a pale yellow circle in the center. Blue sky. Once ours has slivered without a dome over their heads. Now the light shines through two layers of glass. Between them splashed lake teeming with plankton and algae. Our sky is green and composed of hexagons. In the distance there was a rumbling sound. An official train whizzed by under the dome. The clerks were returning from lunch. I felt envy deep inside. Even the lowliest of public servants receive a pass for the monorail that connect the pillars of ministers to the elite quarters of bureaucrats. And for everyone else, workers, engineers, the temporary unemployed, or like me, waiting to be assigned, we had to move around on foot or in a cramped, bumpy omnibus. I wish someone would touch me. Anyone, please. That employee right there who gave me a disapproving look on her way home from lunch, or those first time or second time build boys. The ones that are still drafts of a future human beings. They pointed their fingers at me and laughed. I made a face at them that made their laughter only louder. At that moment, a red-haired girl in a tight beige jumpsuit walked by. I felt my cheeks burn with shame. The girl wrinkled her nose and smiled. The gym bag beat rhythmically and sharply against her thigh as she moved away from me. I wonder if she can feel my gaze on her back. If I were braver, I would probably try to talk to her, if only I had some courage. But I'm always late, and smile when no one is looking at me anymore. I make up a good joke only when I'm already home from the party, and I'm touching someone only in my fantasies. No one's waiting for me at home. Bridget's work shift should have been over by now. If I'm right, my cluster sister is now sitting on the roof of the house, drinking beer. Of course, she could have already been chased away by the other tenants. Not every person gets neighbors all called clunkers for simple alcoholic gatherings. I don't know how Bridget can deal with it. Full of doubt, I stopped on the spot. Then I headed towards the house at the back of the northwest sector. Bridget was indeed on the roof. She was sitting in a filigree plastic chair. There was a vacant one next to it. So this is our sister, Bridget. Hey, sup? I was just thinking about you. Hello? I was actually thinking of drinking alone today, but come on, and join me now that you are here. She let kick a nearby chair with the toe of her shoe. Someone doesn't seem to be in a good mood today. Rough day, so we are Caviani. You could say that. I'm just tired of people a little bit. Well, the same bridge, protect and patroness of all the little brethren of the cluster, tired of people? Oh, be quiet. Do you want a beer? I said at the offered bottle of crack cry. The clear plastic had a thick greenish liquid in it. Hey, why do you think this beer is called Kraken's Cry? Well, probably because after 3 or 4 bottles you start screaming like a kraken. Right. Do the neighbors complain a lot? Do you want a drink or not? Yes, get a beer. It's silly to turn down the offer of free seaweed beer when my allowance is tight at the moment. Thanks. Salty, bitter taste, it's fun. There is no sea here and never has been, but there is seaweed and seawater. We were silent for a while. Are you still unoccupied? Is it that obvious? Yes, I'm not employed yet. That's really strange. I thought you were involved in something serious there. Or did you just glue archive files together and pass them off as your own work, huh? No, I wrote every bit myself. Well, your loss. If you did otherwise, it will be much easier now. You could be already working as a charity in one of the towers now. And then I will tell my friends I have abroad in the ministry. Come on. But really, all professional. Lottery, you mean? Caviani. I spelled the adult name out loud and shivered. It still sounded like something alien. To everyone in my cluster, I will always be Josh, just as they are to me Bridge, Mitei, Jackie, Yant, and Noriko. It doesn't matter what their names are now. Second names are only for boss, colleagues, police. When you hear your adult name, get ready for trouble. Josie Caviani, the one who impressed everyone with his statistics project so much that he earned the location. Oh yeah, this was real research. That's what all the smart guys say. You take advantage of the fact that the rest of us don't understand anything. She opened the second bottle as she immersed herself in her thoughts. Something seemed to be eating at her. What an unfamiliar sight. The big sister, always so strong and trustworthy, was now nervous. I need to say something. I would rather that she talk and then drink. I visited a confessor, by the way. So, did you fix your soul then? Yes, I did. Tell the truth or avoid the answer. Tell the truth. I have strange dreams of the living flesh that speaks to me, a mass of muscles and tendons and bones and eyes. Funny coincidence. What do you mean? It's okay, never mind. Are you sure it's okay? Do you really want to know, or are you just being polite as usual? I'm really curious, and I'm worried about you. Look at you, just like a real caring brother. I worry every day when you go off to the goddamn superior art department building to do your goddamn construction print worker. I'm scared every day of being invited to the Temple of Tender Death, where there will lie a printed mannequin exactly like you, because they couldn't even find your body under the rubble after the accident. How could I say that to my own sister? The only thing I will get in return is a laugh and weighty, albeit joking punch to the shoulder, the usual one. Just spill it already. Well, we materialized a batch of beams. Tomorrow we'll send it to the dome, so today we had to fill our quota as much as possible. So we were materializing it to the fullest extent, and then extruded got clogged. Birch was yelling, freaking out. Well, we stopped and took a look. I unscrewed the hose. It was clogged. I picked at it and squeezed it out. An eye was looking at me. What eye? The one that had a blue iris. It looked like a woman one. What a load of crap. An accident? So somebody got sucked into that extrude of yours? It can't be. Obviously it's just someone's stupid joke. And there was not a single bastard laughing when I squeezed that eye out of the hose. It doesn't matter. We'll find out who did it anyway. Those assholes. Working Steve's sense of humor is lacking, it seems. Where did they even get that eye? When I find out who it is, you'll be in trouble. I just hope things will be different at new place. New place? I'm sick of sitting in the polymer room. My nose can't smell anything anymore. We have a new refrigeration compound. Finally the dome will be sealed, once and for all. We won't have to renew it every year. I asked to be an inspector to supervise commissioning for a month or two. So there won't be any more rain? What kind of rain? Salt and smelling of algae? Oh yes, there are no others. Already pretty drunk, she spilled some beer on the roof. The viscous drops were instantly absorbed into the porous osteoplastic. You should go to the confessor too. Pfft, there's my confessor in this bottle. And the second one. By the way, I didn't give you any for the final bill, did I? Oh, lucky that you came. What the fuck is that? She took another bottle of her bag. Inside there was silvery black resin slowly rolling. It reluctantly pushed against the wall, as if sometimes forgetting how to be a liquid. What the fuck? Bridge, this is some, huh? So what, will you spank me now? Or will you summon the clunkers? Come on, take it. Soma. It looked like a ferromagnetic liquid. How can you even drink it? Well, we are not robots to drink ferromagnets. It's just a colloidal solution, a suspension of something. For example, colonies of microorganisms. This stuff even looks alive. Beer is also a colony of microorganisms. They are alcohol-ferment wonders, wandering around. Still, it's dangerous. It's high time you grow up, Joss. All adults have tried it, and if they haven't, then they are complete idiots. Whoever synthesized Soma makes a powerful contribution to our society. It's on a level higher than all those biopolymers. Biopolymers are the gift of machines. Biopolymers by themselves, yes, but we were the ones who calculate their formula, one of our kinds. Perhaps the machine specifically made it possible to calculate them. I don't know, I'm not very good at all these theological tricks anymore, and you'll say that the creation of Soma is also proved by machines. It seems pretty possible. Approval, God sent. Nothing just happens under this damn dome. Hey, you two, will you shut up already? I'm sick of all this mumbling. I'm gonna call the police now. Right, I'm not in the mood for that today. Okay, we are out of here. Thankfully I managed to get advice. Now I can wander aimless through the streets a little more. It's getting dark, there are fewer and fewer people on the streets, the pulse of the city slows down, a huge beast of concrete and steel is getting ready to sleep. There are still few bars open, it may be possible to kill some time there, but after the bar it's so easy to run into a clank patrol. I wouldn't like to get into such a situation with a bottle of summer under my jacket. I have to go home after all. So that thing is like illegal to have, it seems. So this is our home. The ringing of alarm clock drilled the hole through the skull. When I got home, I ordered Biomanor to wake me up in 7 hours. It seemed like a sensible idea at the time. With a barely head, I turned off the signal. I was about to go to bed, but the concierge, with all his robot determination, had already entered daytime mode. The end of melatonin peak in the circadian cycle is registered. I will increase the intensity of blue-green lightning. Good morning, Mr. Caviani. Good morning. Damn, why am I even talking to you again? 4 mails have been received during your inactivity. One is marked important. Shall I read it? So, the important one is choose Minister of Demography. So let's go for that. Maybe you can read the others then. From Minister of Demography. Good afternoon, Mr. Caviani. Upon receipt of this letter, you are instructed to visit the Ministry, the Statistics Department, Office 1324. Sincere Anselm Diodato. Whoa, I don't hear congratulations, Biamonor. Congratulations, Miss Caviani. Now it sounds insincere. I was still waiting for a location after the final build. Although my qualification project deserves special attention from two inspectors at once. From the Life Cycle Assessment Ministry and the Minister of Demography. If I become an official, I will get rid of 100 problems at once. No longer will I have to live allowance to allowance, save resource. Frank the Savior, I can even get access to the monorail. Although I remember how I adjusted the numbers at the last moment before the discussion of the thesis. Did you notice my forgery? Will they let it slide? My heart was jammed with anxiety. A lump rose in my throat. Are they inviting me for a reward or punishment? Is something wrong, Mr. Caviani? I need to calm down, one step at a time. Order me some seaweed soup. I don't want to go to meals on an empty stomach. Meat and milk have recently made me sick. The realization that the products were synthetic did not help at all. Every vein in the roast seemed alive. Oh, you can choose the others, okay, so if you go to the imported one, it passes immediate story? While Bomber was placing my order, I rushed to the mirror, I combed my hair, splashed some water on my face and looked careful at the reflection. A gloomy, slightly sad face. I keep hoping to see someone new every day, but every day these hopes are dashed. Even the fluff above the lip does not grow. Nevertheless, I took up the razor. Your order, seaweed soup, 1 serving has been received by the delivery service. You have a visitor, Mr. Caviani? What the fuck? What are you doing? What the? The hand inverted trembled with a crunch of skin being cut. The blade slid across the lip. The shaving gel turned purple. Damn razor! Tell me I'm dreaming, Piomanor. Now I have to wash the shirt. You are not dreaming, Mr. Caviani. The visitor has scared and loud depart the level of access. The door is unlocked. From the car came to the click of a door, followed by the insinuating clunking of polymer armor. Damn it, is the last thing I need to now is some clunker. Somehow I managed to wipe the blood off my face, press my finger to the cut and turn around. So these are the clunkers, it seems. Right in front of me was a man in a police uniform. Okay, clunkers are the police of the city, okay. An impassive mask resembling a skull, usual armor on his arms and legs. The stunner, as always, is set aside. By the law, clunkers were instructed to unfasten their weapons from their belts only in case of an immediate threat. But judging by the usual behavior of the clunkers, they were under immediate threat all the time. Junior Sergeant Reader, authorized to escort you to the ministry. Be ready to move out in 5 minutes, Mr. Caviani. His eyes sunk deep into the dark holes of the mask, stared somewhere below my face. Damn, he's probably looking right at the blood stain. What a shame. But I need to... Immediately, time is running out, but most important, you should calm down. The healing lip itched terribly. After a couple of minutes, there will be no trace of the cut, but now it doesn't matter. Well, okay. Why it heals immediately like that? I look back in the mirror and wipe the dry blood from my face. It crumbled into the skin in brown crumbs. The clank won't let me change my shirts. Well, that's fine. Very well, I'm ready. Inbox folder. Received from Public Canteen Sector 221-17. Your order, seaweed soup, 1 serving received. Warming up as start already. We offer you a new tariff, cramming up to the Annunciation of the franc. Protein, produce and marshmallows on a monthly subscription. Double the rate for 50 subcoins. The number of offers is limited. Even to eat some there is subscriptions. Got that. The search walked a little ahead, not considered necessary to look back, as if he was sure that I wouldn't dare to fall behind and disappear into the crowd. Is it because he thinks I'm a good citizen, or a coward, or he just can't imagine disobedience? Most likely he just doesn't care. The street ahead widened, opening it onto a spacious square between the pillars. The only place in the city where a whole crowd can gather, except there are never any crowds here. Citizens try to not come here unnecessarily, only for voluntary and compulsory celebrations. The Annunciation of Frank, the beheading of Paul the Adri, the advent of the Machines of Loving Grace, the ascension of Archangel Michael. As a child, I only liked the ear wheel. Instead of festive icons, white noise was turned on the screens and a cheerful melody was played on the bells. The 6 ministerial pillars towered over the elite quarters, resting on the firmament. Cyclopean towers support a man-made ocean full of algae overhead. A familiar sight, but it still takes your breath away every time. The tower of the Ministry of Demography looked as if it was darker than the other pillars. Either I was influenced by its proximity to the Temple of Gentle Death, or by gloomy rumors about cities who did not return from behind its doors. There we go. A tingle of cold sweat ran down my spine, a sticky cocktail of nervous anticipation and fear. We went up to Frank knows what floor, and the clunker led me through a branch maze of corridors. I myself will never have found the right office or the exit. Finally, we stopped in front of an illuminated sign, Anselm Diodato, head of the Statistical Calculations Department. The clunker remained outside the door, and I stepped into the official's big office. The huge table covered with beige synthetic leather was empty. His owner stood with his back to the entrance and looked at the wall screen. He didn't seem to notice me at first, or maybe he just simply ignored me. Instead of a window theme, the screen showed an animated ancient picture, a cone going underground similar to the funnel of the Great Pit from the textbook on the history of the city. Tiny people were busy on stepped concentric circles. An awkward situation. What do people usually do in such case? I looked around for an object to knock on and then decided to cough softly. Anselm Diodato then turned on his heel and stared straight at me. So this guy is Diodato, okay. Ah, Mr. Caviani, I've heard so much about you as far as I know. Your qualifying work was devoted to the closed ecosystems. Yes, I've been modeling them. I also data reduction. I know what you have been doing. I've been studying your project carefully, and I also looked through your directory. I tried to keep calm expression on my face. Of course he has access to my directory, but for ministerial office to show such interest in an ordinary citizen. I'm not interested in your text, but instead in the things that aren't in it. In the present work you miss some details that are present in your drafts. Why? Should I tell the truth or lie? Lies will make me look like a fool, but the consequences of the truth are not easy to calculate, especially when you are being studied by that intense cold gaze. I was unable to match the results of the analysis with the statistics of the ministries. I was afraid that there was an error in my calculations, despite the fact that I rechecked everything a few times. I was afraid that because of this error I would not pass the final build and lose access to the infinite library. And the commission was satisfied with your results. Yes, Mr. Diodato. Don't be modest. Your work was highly commended by the inspectors from 2 pillars. But still, I was never allocated to a job. How would you react if I said that all your calculations converge? They do? I personally checked them with full access to the sacred server's machine time, and I'm very curious in how you'll interpret your little discovery. If my calculations are correct, then the statisticians of ministries are wrong. I am a statistician of ministry. Sorry, I go on. According to my calculation, our closely ecosystem should have used up all resources long ago, despite all the enthusiastic reports of the Livestock Assessment Ministry about the overproduction of chlorella. We wouldn't have enough oxygen for the needs of the industry anyway, not to mention the protein substrate for the synthesis of food and biopolymers. In general, I assume that the city could receive resources from outside. A very bold statement. What are you driving at, Kavian? Don't be shy, you can be completely honest with me. The ways of the machines of Loving Grace are inscrutable, and the temple terminal has been silent for a long time. Perhaps the machines found out that the air outside is safe, but they keep silent about it. Perhaps they found new source outside. Diodato let out a sardonic laugh. Or inside. What else can you suggest, young man? Come on, spit out, feel free. I fell silent in fright and stared at the floor. What else do you want to hear? Keep it in mind, the weakest element of any cybernetic system is man. Machines don't lie and they don't make mistakes. Mistakes are the lot of weak-minded protein creatures. Our ancestors managed to create something more than themselves. It was only through their labors and prayers that we were saved. They became the gates for the second coming, for the machines of loving grace. And the hour's calm and thunder sounded. In an instant, all creatures, men, beasts, sea dwellers, and birds of the air, they all turned into violet smoke. The earth became slightless and empty. We fought the great machines that shouted tons of righteous people under the dome. I gathered my courage and tried to interrupt the impromptu sermon. I won't even dare question the greatness of machines, Mr. Diodato. I was just talking about what the knowledge shows us. Perhaps there is hope for a way out. Perhaps we should scout. All seeing machines know better. The numbers you operate on are registered and published by humans. You are right that ministry statistics may be wrong. I should know of a human weakness very well. In addition, there is too much humanity between the towers, overestimation of indicators, fraud, rivalry, something that is impossible in the world of machines. But I think it's that disgusting feeling again, like I'm a stupid kid being scolded. I was impressed by your analytical skills. The way you work with that is worth of the highest ratings. But your ability to comprehend and obtain the results in this area, you have shown yourself to be a completely immature young man, incomprehensive of politics, and that's fine. You are lucky that I was the one who noticed you before you stumbled, fell into dangerous heresy, rejected the precepts of Frank. Now, after all you have heard, tell me, what you plan to do with your findings? That's it? So he just wants to hide the writing and internal squabbling of functionaries in the towers? Yes, he was right about weak-minded protein creatures. Of course he has something to threaten. Otherwise, why did a clunker also appear at the moment the letter from the Minister of Demography arrived? But at least, he could offer a carrot along with a stick. Perhaps the carrot is waiting for me after the right session. But maybe it's worth pushing a little bit to designate not a threat but a shadow of possible consequence. It seems that his sermons really made me angry, since I seriously thought about it. This data classified, post it, we need to fix the errors, yes. Let's push it. Humans are weak, it's true. That is why you must fight this weakness. Open publication of this data will allow honest and objective. Think, Kavian, think. How will citizens react to the voice of a person who has fallen into the heresy of doubt? A man blaming machines for a mistake? But we were just talking about the human. Do you realize that by doubting the loving grace that makes the city exist, you are not only contradicting Frank's punch cards, but also encroaching on the last island of life in this world? My head was spinning. This man, without batting an eye, twists all my words, as if there is no truth for him. There is only information, useful or harmful. A spark of anger began to flare up in the depths of my soul. It was restrained only by caution. So these how deeds are done in the pillars. Let's resist, let's say that we want to continue, we want to show this. I have no doubt that I do not fall into heresy. It is machines that tell us. The machines are pleased with the reasonable, the machines are pleased with the thinking, the machines are pleased with the one making the right conclusion in the binary system. You don't have to quote the tables to me, Kaviani. I know them by heart. However, since you start to quote me the following punch card. The machines, pleased. The machines are pleased with the one who's clearly following the program. It's a pity that you don't remember these simple but such important words. The door creaked behind me, but I didn't dare to look back. It's not too late to apologize. It's not too late to make another decision. Your problem is that you have an extraordinary mind combined with the psychological level of teenager, Kaviani. Youthful maximalism, belief in the limited possibilities of man, unable to be humble. Doubts are dangerous because not one doubts, but the whole collective risks their lives. I tell you this with bitterness because I'm also a human being, and I'm sorry that I have to remove such a talented individual from society. Okay? The world suddenly went out. The coarse fabric of the bag clung to my nose and mouth, not even letting me cry out. There was a cracking noise, a flash of pain shot through the neck, as if at the touch of a boot the boy turned off and went limp. Someone's strong hands confident and expertly twisted my wrists. The voice of Diodato, still broadcast some hypocritical nonsense, started to fade away. Is he going somewhere? No, it's me who's being taken away. Okay, so that was a wrong decision? Am I dead? No, it seems not. Each of the fatal attempts to escape left its mark on the body. Something broken crunched inside the body with every breath. Every blow of a baton left the burning stigma. The tears were coming out by themselves, easily and without stopping. I can't stop it, although I'm not trying to. The black fabric of the sack was soaked with moisture and stuck to my face. It covered my nose and mouth. I can't breathe, I can't scream, but I'm still alive. I won't die unless they tell me to. Josiah Kaviani, 18 years old, a former citizen. You have been examined, Josiah Kaviani. We found you to be defective, unfit for repair, and to be discarded. The straps were tightened on my body, and a ring gripped my head. My muscles crumpled with pain, which only made the scraps cut deeper into my skin. Behind the captain's voice, one could hear whispers, coughing, the quiet shuffling of feet, and the rustling of clothing. The breath of the crowd gathered in the amphitheater, gathered to watch me die. But I don't care. You think against the wisdom of the machines of loving grace. You doubt the justice of machines of loving grace. You doubt the rightness of machines loving grace. Thus, you are not against machines alone, but against the grace and love themselves, which the machines serve, which the machine bear to us, which are the essence of machines and their attributes at once. How much grace and love are in these words? But these words are not for me. These words are for those who are still alive. It is said, let the defective part be cast away. That's what we'll do to you, Josiah Kaviani. A slight electric shock rose in my temples, raising my hair. Then again and again, stronger and stronger. I'm still alive, yes. I think I want to leave. No. Okay. So who is against machines is discarded to where? Who knows? Out of the blackness, empty as that dream, I'm being pulled upward. Let me go, I don't want to. They can't hear, they pluck me out of the darkness with tongues, like a tooth from the gums. Something snuck up and down my arm, as if it were floating inside, right under the skin. Eyes, I have to open my eyes. Glimpse of green light, some voice. The fuck is this? Okay. Voice murmur like what, all in a sharper way. Are those words? Is it my language? Is that even language? Wanting 5 out for uniform. Don't miss and wipe the blood off the joystick. What? Okay, what the fuck is that? A green glow erupts. Oops. That smell, for some reason, it makes me drool. It's like being in a restaurant next to a synthetic meat printer. Instead of acid stench of burning, sun wafts in my nose. Watch out! It's burning! Turn it off! I twitched, squinting my eyes, trying to see something. It's not synthetic meat, that is burning. It's my hand. What's left of it? Okay, so it's burning our hands. No! Why are the vocal cords turned on again? If there is any more noise, I'll cut them out. No, let me back into the darkness. Turn me off. I reach for the emptiness. Oaks of light, voice, sounds, and smells are immediately digging into my brain, pulling me back, keeping me from escaping. Who am I? I'm a little light in the depths of darkness. Someone took me out and tossed me into a jumble of light and words. I am this. My name is. Everything sleeps, drains away all possible words. There are no more words of my own. Me. So we don't remember our name already? So they clean our minds, is it? A picture appears instead of words, a rapidly rotating kaleidoscope of frames. A large room, there are several people in it, different looks, different heights, some are all half the size of the others. They are children, that's right, children and adults. One of them is me, and the rest are my brothers and sisters. I try to find myself among the children, but I can't. Look in the mirror. The words of the adults are heard, but I can't make them out. Their voices hang in the air and mingle with it in a grey haze. I can understand only individual phrases. And now kids, it's time for everyone to go to bed. That means sleep. We don't want to. We never want to sleep. The mirror is around here somewhere before sleep, and so we all go to brush our teeth without wanting to. This shall be done before going to bed. 2 bathrooms, one for girls and one for boys. There are 2 more bathrooms for adults, but the adults use them however they want. People brush their teeth by looking in the mirror. I don't know why. I look in front of me and see an ordinary face. It's a little boy with a short haircut. The mirror suddenly turns cloudy and disappears. Okay, so that's the past, is what I can see. The quiet crack and of the strings being stretched higher and higher. 23,000 breaths, 70,000 pulsations of pain in my temples, then a sharp crunch, the screech of servo motors, the hiss of a green laser, and the cycle begins again. The body twists in a different direction. It turns inside out, stiff straps dig into my hips and shoulders, keeping my body from breaking itself. The bones crunch, fragments of bones crack and fuse together, the muscles buzz and crawl in slippery stretch, taking on a new form. Bravo, 13 Papa 24. Like, the sound of the bones, like, holy shit. The pain sinks me back into the void, covering me with a thick and cozy black blanket. And the pain pulls me back into reality. No, there is already molybdenum reinforcement. These bones are only to be lasered. The pain loses the vice a little and the images are coming back. A small room, a bed, a table, some scattered things everywhere. Those things belong to one person, not a crowd. There are no adults here. Why not? Because one adult lives in this room, and that adult is me. I wander around blindly, trying to find a mirror. Where is the goddamn one-man bathroom here? If I see myself in the mirror, I will remember everything. I will swim out of the darkness and call myself by the right name. But instead of the bathroom, I end up in the hallway. Have a good day and good luck, mister. Thank you. Who is it? Where is he? That's the way it is in this room. It talks to you on the way in and out. The servo motors swing the door open. Back to the reality again. I can't open my eyes. I see the end again, a fragment of it, 5 fingers grasping objects, a fork, a spoon, a toothbrush, counting, learning digital things, keyboards, punch cards, screens. Mechanical manipulated arm shakes the elastic tube. The tubes seem to have rubber bands around their bands. Something black drips from the pins at the end of each tube. The manipulators move to the right. I try my best to see it with the corner of my eye, but I can't. Instead, another image appears. Oh, that girl, huh? Short red hair and a pretty face. Who is she? What's their name? Is she an important person to me? But I can't remember anything about her. Do we know each other? Are we close? Did I just see her? Please let us be acquaintances. But why we are remembering that girl? We were in love with her? But she didn't know us. The right side of my body is melting and burning. I don't want to look. I don't want to know how much is left of me. I just have to wait and everything will heal. Love and grace will bring me back what's missing. I need to just wait. Winter 54 Sumpy. Why did it miss again? Closer, otherwise it won't get adapted. There's another murmur and clustering noise, quite like the gurgling of water. I'm in front of the mirror, barely reaching the shelf with my toothbrush. The adults exchange incomprehensive word pebbles. There is no reflection in the mirror. Who am I? Who is she? If I remember myself, I'll get to her, and if I get to her, I will remember myself. Come on, please, show me. There you are, right there. Why are you hiding from me? Cervical pressure is dropping. The baroreceptors are clogged. Alright, let it go. Not that he's gonna die from that. Pain overwhelms the body, pushing the hooks of light and voice out of it. Free at last. Finally, I can return to the darkness. I'm waiting for the girl with red hair to show up, but she's gone. And now I'm gone, too. Okay. There is no more tranquility in the void. The darkness is tearing away and crumpling a part of itself, pushing it outward. This part calls itself I. I exist again. I'm alone again. So what I understand is that it wiped our memory because we don't even remember our name. Okay. What the fuck is this place? The darkness brightens and weaves into warm and breathing walls. I have fallen out of it. I breathe like it, move like it. Why did the walls reject a piece of itself and form into me? Did I do something wrong? The fuck is that? Okay. There's an all rejected chunk of flesh. It's breathing and living. It's shaking and dripping muddy lymph from bones coming through the skin. I am the same? I think so. Work. Work. Production quota. You have to work. Why? Everyone is working. Production quota is happy. It will be pleased and let you into work. Work. He seems to be angry. The walls on the floor above and beside him go in waves like some liquid. These waves reach me and transmit a heat to my body that makes me want to run, to scream, to move. But I don't want to go to work. I want to go back into the wall, back into the darkness. You can't get into the darkness. Far into the darkness means farther from work. Everyone wants to go to work. There is solid concrete there. There are lights, pipes, water. Everyone has their own private hole. You don't have to work there. But I don't want to go into a private hole. Where is this bird? Is it far away? Look. He straightened one of his arms, which ended in a long curved bone point. Then a slimy droplet slowly broke off it and dropped on the floor beneath his feet. Do you see how it fell? Where it fell is the bottom. And against the bottom, it's always the top. Bird is far, far away at the top. Top, outside. Concrete and pipes and water. Remember. The top is light and good. The bottom is darkness. I look up at the top, above my head. Shiny wet tools were intertwined. Pink, brown, white and red. They rustled and pulsed quietly, as if they were crawling somewhere, while at the same time remaining in place. Suddenly a drop of red liquid came from one of them. It dropped right on my forehead. It's hot. Well, it seems that there really are pipes and water at the top, and it's not too far away. I don't know how to work. I'll show you. I'm in charge here. I'm a senior. I'll show you. He slashed at the wall with his hand tip. The blade plunged into the flesh with a smacking sound and popped up back up. Stone chips spilled out of the hole, immediately mingling with the red liquid into a thick paste. The cut on the wall slowly pulled back and healed without a trace. We are digging into the bottom. We are digging into the darkness. But for our hard work, we are sent into the light. Remember. Work. But I don't have... I show him my arm. Smooth out. Holy shit, we are the same of that. Look at that. No, I have... Why do I feel so sick? Why am I so scared? The wave of flesh beneath my feet trembles, absorbing and intensifying my feelings. As if in response, murky images resonate from the depths of my soul. That's not right. I was someone different. I had a harm. I had a name. So, because we went against Diodato, that's what they call discarded. They transform us into a monster. So, did I do a bad choice? I'm gonna regret about that. So if I had chosen the other, what will happen? But that is for another run. Get up, get to work. I'm in charge. I'm your senior. I'm in charge. I'm shift manager. Work. He twitches and shakes along with me. After that he hits the wall again and again and again. Does it feel pain? Why doesn't it? I'll work. Stop. I'll work. He stopped and nodded and just jerkily walked away into the darkness. I have to work to do. I don't belong here, but in order to get out, I have to make production quota happy. The choices are all the same. Hit wall. Okay. I wrapped it swung around and tried to stick my hand into the hot mass. The blade accidentally entered one of the glowing yellow balls. The bubble burst, orange pus ran down my arm and in a rapidly fading stream. Sorry. The gaping hole quickly filled with a dark liquid. This blood. I wounded the flesh, and this blood. I squeezed the edge of the wound with my other hand in desperation. Those quickly gripped together, but snugly glowing bubble never reappeared. I killed it. I'm sorry. Something hot and salt ran down my cheeks. Is it blood too? Transparent. Probably it's not. So he doesn't even remember that he's crying. Holy shit. Work. I must work. Okay, hit wall again. Strike. A splash of blood, a smack of and the squelch of a rapidly disappearing cut. Another strike. The wall convulsed. The damp, gleaming layers of musk spat out a lump of lymph with a couple of stones floating inside, as if it was some act of pity. One strike after another, shock ripples through my body from my hand, my bones tingle and itch, my joints creak angrily. This job leaves more scars on me than on the walls. I cannot endure this senseless and monotonous torture. Who is the victim here, and who is the executioner? Maybe if I just lie down with my eyes closed, the flesh will absorb me back. It's dark. It was as if a cozy emptiness had returned. There is a cool breeze across the floor. It dries the heated body, but takes the drops of sweat and blood from it. This makes the place where the skin is torn by sharp joints and vertebrae start to itch. It burns and itches where the skin flaps are completely stripped. I can hear a heavy stomping sound. Its vibrations transmit through the strands and tendons of the floor, spreading anxiety and fear all around. Is that shift manager back? Holy shit, what the fuck is this? What's that? Who is this? Is that production quota? They don't look happy. Quota demon. Cut. Cut. A harsh and hoarse screech drilled into my ears, but that was only the beginning. In their spiky, muscular hand, Quota clutched white segment rings. Now those rings unfold into a long whip. Ouch. A thin vein whizzed through the air and seemed to lightly touch my shoulder, but that touch burned my muscles to the bone. The first strike was followed by others. Why am I not like this? I want to be like this, come on. Cut. No, stop, I got it. I got up against the wall with my hands on my head. At first I didn't realize right away that strikes had stopped. Enormous demon was gone. The red scars of my moved slowly like thick fat worms. The muscles beneath them hurried to heal, but the pain remained. It was like it was absorbed into my skin, or rather into my consciousness. So we healed then back, okay? I can't do this anymore. I don't want to. Make it stop. Okay, and this? The emptiness won't take me back just because I want to. Something has to be done. This blade easily enters the walls, into the same flesh my chest is made of. It's not easy to twist my arm at that angle. Come on, bend over here. Ugh. So we are trying to kill ourselves? Yep. How painful, why does it hurt so much? The head of pickaxe is so deep into my chest that it should be sticking out of my back by now. But I'm still here. The pain does not let me go into darkness. It holds this useless body hostage. It was a mistake. Are you dumb? Don't chop yourself. Chop the wall. I showed you before. I don't want to. You don't have to want to. You don't have to think. You have to work. Okay, we didn't die. He pulled the blade of my pickaxe out of my own body in one sharp movement. It will be easier if your head is empty. Empty in the head? Well, if he says so. I slowly brought the pickaxe towards the skull. Shift management gave me a smack on the head. You are completely stupid. That's because you don't eat. Follow me. The hot floor slipped underfoot, but walking is still easier than shopping. I like walking. Other creatures emerged from the how we save, okay. Other creatures emerge from the semi-darkness of the caves. Everyone is subtle different. Some have second spine bulging, as if seeking to break out of their bodies. Some have been able to transplant glowing bubbles of pus onto their skin. Interesting, I want to do the same. But they all have one thing in common. They all have a pointed pickaxe blade instead of one of their arms. I look like them, and they look like me. We are all family? Cluster? It's a strange word, but it came from within, so it means I know it. You are stupid, so yes, it's better for you to have us than someone else. Family, I'm no longer alone. You were never alone, you had your sister, dude. A stiff and cramped dead air. The air here is so dense and thick that it is hardly drawn into my lungs with each breath, bringing tangled others alongside. These vapors rise from the solid mass of bodies wriggling in the hole beneath the wall, Slow and aimless movements of arms, legs, shoulders, and hips are like the rippling of dry cloths in a pool of blood. Here we are, we're going to eat, then we'll rest. What are we going to eat? Something soft off the wall? No, stupid, never eat the thing that can think. Don't eat what can talk. But the wall doesn't talk. You talk and think too much, that's why you can't hear. Eat something that doesn't speak or think. Then he pointed to one of the bodies lying in a pile beneath the others. The boy barely moved, its eyes stared blindly at the ceiling. At the top, it seemed as if they looked through it. Body, arms and legs stiffened uncomfortably. That one is not talking or thinking anymore. It doesn't seem good, or does it have to be sliced? That's not your job. Whose is it then? That one over there, Goiter, is in charge of the vegetables. Keep moving, the solution is coming up. Shift managed to drive the pickaxe in some direction. Oh, so this Goiter is like the chef that cooks for us, okay? The mountain of flesh rippled in folds, emitting clouds of sour stench. In the transparent bubbles of its body, a thick slurry was bubbling steadily. It seemed was its smell. A small line for that fat man was already there. The workers took off their bone masks and tucked them behind their belts. My family was getting ready to eat. Goiter walked up to the first in line, loomed over him, and belched a murky stream of hard lumps from his mouth. The man swallowed the food hastily, mouth wide open, and shaking his whole body. Wait, he gives food through his mouth? They are like, oh, take that food. What the fuck? Is Goiter cooking? Yes, try to catch the food with your mouth completely. He doesn't like when it's spilled. He cooks, we chop, everybody works. Whoever works gets it to work. The one who does not work does not eat. The one who does not eat stops talking and thinking, and they are taken by Goiter. Oh, so he cooks us, like if you stop working, then he cooks us. So we are eating ours like others equal to us. What the fuck? It sounds logical. Sure, we are not stupid. You are stupid, but we are not. Everything is in order. You'll remember. Now eat and rest. Thank you, God. Thanks for food. So good. After swallowing my portion of the hot, sour sweat slurry of soft chunks, I clambered into the pile of bodies, wrapped my arms around my knees, and crouched in a ball. Okay. It's dark and hot. It's cozy, almost like a void. The pain and fatigue from my body seemed to dissolve into the family lying around. Somewhere inside my head, at the back, a knot unraveled. The released consciousness floated away into the darkness. Even if for a little, I ceased to exist. So with others that die, that are like us, we don't know our name anymore. We don't have our memory. It's kind of weird. We want to speak to you and everything else. Come to us, Josiah. We want to intervene with our fingers with yours. We want to press you against our bodies. We want to hug you. Our fingers are millions, our bodies are thousands. You only have one body, a weak little body, one of many. Each of you is dear to us. Each of you is our child. Without each of you, we are imperfect. We are not complete. Without us, you are meaningless. Without us, you are splattered blobs. Without us, you are scattered grains of sand. Without us, you are unhappy. Josiah, we felt sorry for you. We will comfort you. We will lull you to sleep. We will press to our thousand of hearts, and you will hear them beating in unison all at once. You will hear our pulse, great underground river. It flows for you. You will forget all the resentment, all the failures, all the pain. You will become us. Okay, these words. The brief of noise of surrounding bodies, the rustle of their skin, the clatter of exposed bones, and the grinding of their joints. It was like the sound of sea in my ears. I don't know what sea is. I never knew. The words just float to the surface from the black depths. Coming along show up my name too. Josiah Caviani. The name. One more hook biting into that which called itself I. The thing that can't let me return into the emptiness. Even more hooks now and more suffering alongside. Have you rested enough? No. That's good. This is right. There is only work here. Rest is in bird. Get up. No food yet? You are about to find out. The cave filled with groans and screams as my family awoke from their nightmares and sprawled to the sides. When the thick carpet of bodies unraveled, 8 workers were left lying on the floor. Their eyes stared through the walls into a non-existent distance. Their rib cage moved gently, their arms and legs stopped moving like broken sticks. There are a lot of those who retire. That's weird. But it means a lot of food. Yes, but we were first. Goiter also needs to work. It's big, but it's slow. There he is. That's interesting. The black holes diverge in branching network. The monotonous caves are filled with echoes, the shuffling of feet, the whistling of sharp arms, the slurping and smacking of flesh. I don't know where to go, but I like walking. Walking is better than working. Stop, stupid, stop. Here, shop here. This cave is no different from the others. Why here? What are we doing exactly? What are we supposed to do? We are to meet our production quota. I told you before. Have you forgot already? Stupid. But when will we know that we met our quota? Never. But why then we work? They don't work in Berg. They are resting. It's a balance, equilibrium. Do you understand? Sounds like no balance at all. For balance, they have to work too. No, Berg and minds are connected. One body, you know? There is balance in the body. If there is happiness, there must also be fear. If there is rest, there must also be pain. Berg and minds are like one body. Happy masters live in Berg, and if they are masters, there must also be slaves. There can't be a happy place just like that. There has to be an awareness that somewhere someone is feeling the pain. Shift manager eye burned like post boils on the walls. He's just about to start beating the walls with pickaxe in a frenzy. What he says seems to be very important to him, but I don't understand it at all. If there is a job, then there must be a non-job too. That's called rest, stupid. The more we work here, the more rest we get there? Yes, finally, yes. With ourselves and our labor, we create work. Work is our goal. The worse and harder it is, here the better it is there. It's connected. Now, get to work. There is that damn wall again. It stares back, slowly flowing, staying immobile. I sigh to struggle to raise my pickaxe and I lower it sharply to the flesh. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. It's hard. It's hard to think. My head hurts. My forehead creases. Words pop into my head. Whose words are they? Mine. These are my thoughts. How long have I been here? Why aren't we going to eat? No, I hate. Many times. I hate. Lay among my family. I came here again. I've been here before. A tight, dry lump rolled up my throat. How long I have been here? How long will I be here? I have a name. Josiah Caviani. What does Caviani want? I want to go back to Berg. So it seems that when you start to think, it starts to hurt our heads. Interesting. Go back? Was I already there? Yes, I think so. Of course I was. I came from there. But I don't want to go to Berg. I want to go back into the void. I want to stop existing. I don't want to work. I want to walk. But he who doesn't work is attacked by the demon of production quota. I have to walk faster. My half-bad legs don't move well. The crumpled lungs in the unshod body are used to breathing in jerks synchronized with the movement of the pickaxe. That means I have to go at the same rhythm. 1, 2, 1 foot after the other. So we are learning how to walk correct with the body. Scary. Something new, something I hadn't seen before. No one from my family was here. The purulent bubbles in the walls glowed brighter, and they were bigger, as if they were ripe and ready to burst at the touch. Even the air was cooler and drier. There was no eternal steam rising from hot, tense bodies. Scary, too spacious, too bright. Attention, door degradation. The words are in my head again. Whose thoughts are these? Mine or Jose Caviani's? No, it's not in my head. It's from outside. It's in the back. Jumping up in surprise, I turn around on the spot. What the fuck is that? Found the savior. Another body, another piece of flesh detached from the walls. But this one is weird. It doesn't look like one of my family at all. Does it work to get it to birth too? But how? It doesn't even have a pickaxe. Frank, thank you. We are here forever. The fuck is that? It's like a horse, right? He asked that thing to someone, right? Did you just say that? I can't talk. I'm a horse. There you go. But there was only silence in response. I can't even tell what he's looking at. Something pinkish, wet, and damp glitters in the slits of the plates on his face. It doesn't look like eyes at all. Why did I mention Frank? Another name, this time an alien one. I grab my head and groaned. I can't do it anymore. I can't think anymore. The words drip on my brain with heavy drops of metal. Each new word drags a weight of meaning with it. The viscous and pressing mass of memory had accumulated somewhere above my eyes, behind my brow, and was now pulling my head to the ground. Just a little more, just one more word, and my forehead would explode. And think, buddy. Cabe, hello, stick, please. Stop the surf? No, try to talk to the horse. Why do you speak that way? I can't speak, I'm hoarse. What do you want from me? Silence again. The slip of its lips fall into an eternal smirk. It's like it's making fun of me. Is it having fun? Stick to what? Stick to the wall of misunderstanding that arose between us. Stick to the wall, it said, so I'm in the way, that's all. Everyone has a job to do here. I chop, Goethe prepares food, and the horse walks through the caves. So that's why it has forks. I will press my back against the wall. The sticky surface eagerly embraces my exhausted body and exhale into my ear. Josiah. I bounce off the wall, nearly knocking the horse off its feet. What? Who? Never eat what talks and thinks. I don't want to think or talk. That means when you get what you want, you can eat yourself. It's mocking me. This creature wants to confuse me. I wonder if I can cut him down. Stop thinking now, and I can eat you. Free you from yourself. I backed away from the creature, putting my big arm out in front of me. Suddenly the horse's powerful and knobby muscles and its massive knuckles on the limbs caught my eye. Not like this. Not here. I want to leave? Run back to the mines. Try to continue the conversation. No, we don't want to go back to the mines. So, continue the conversation. I'm talking. I talk. You can't hit me yet. You can't hit me yet. No. Why are you lying? I'm the one speaking for you. Now lie down and let me hit you. But I thought you couldn't talk. You are a horse after all. Have you ever seen a horse before? No, I don't think so. Why I'm sure that I haven't seen it. It's not in person, in pictures. No, on screens. Neither did I. So I'm not a horse. I'm a human being, like you. But you said yourself, did I? I can talk. I'm a horse. I grabbed my head again, nearly breaking my temple with the pickaxe. Stop talking. Just tell me what you want from me. Conflict desires. This is where you are like film. Film wants to consume you, and it wants to reject you to help it escape. One of many, alone in many ways. There are many of you, and I'm alone. I don't understand. I wish I could hit something. The not a horse or stepped from foot to foot. Suddenly it seemed insecure, clumsy, and lonely. Maybe too hard to escape from somewhere. Listen, do you have a family? You look at me and think I might have a family? Yes, of course, I have one, and you are a woman just like me. You say it yourself. I can't talk. I stared at the creature in silence, waiting for an answer. It seemed to be staring back at me, or at least it pointed its face in my direction. Maybe it's blind? Perhaps I will not hit you. I'm not hit you, not you. Well, no, there was a... There? Are you from Berg too? I'll go. No, wait, stop. Why am I clinging to this conversation? My life is simple. Work, eat, strive for work. But deep inside me now sits someone who has a name, and simple life is not enough for him. He wants to ask questions, get answers. He wants to think. Damn, Josiah, you better stay in the void, where you belong. Wait, I'll think of something. What's that? You brought me a present for my birthday? But you don't even have pockets. Maybe if I offer him some food, we could talk a little longer and maybe even understand each other. But I really don't have any pockets. Steal food for a horse from Goiter is like that is going back to the mines. Feed horse with yourself. We know that you can regenerate, so let's do that. I have nothing with me but myself. I'm thinking and talking. I can't be eaten, but if you take just part of me. The end of the pickaxe is sharp, but the pick itself is rather blunt. There is practically no blade. You can't cut the piece off. You have to tear a layer of muscle off your leg. It's going to hurt. More painful than trying to kill yourself. I'll better sit down first. What are you doing? It's scary. You wanted to eat. You need some serious help. Alright, come here. Because we know that you can regenerate ourselves, so that's a good thing. Because going back to Goit is going back to the mines, and like that, we could then come back here. So I really need your help. I have the wrong psychiatric profile. The horse licked its lips and smacked, picking up the last remnant of chewed flesh with his tongue. Josiah, right? You shouldn't waste yourself so lightly. Easy thoughts mean hard fate. It's funny, you remember more than I do, but you are too lazy to remember. Am I jealous? Or not? Thoughts are light, but memory is heavy. He talks and talks, the words are coherent, but the meaning escapes me. And for this, I spent part of my leg, how much it hurts. There is no rest from this torment. How I want to soak myself into this floor, to dissolve into the pink red sea. But something pushed me in the back, forcing me to go forward. You stay silent, do you? Wise choice. So what do you want? Help me get out of here. Right, just like that, huh? Of course, there is no way it will be so easy. Fine, let's go. What? Oh yeah, yes. No. On the parameter of fate, the delta has grown in our close community. The debit does not match the credit. What the hell is it talking about? Do you get car sick? What? Until your calf muscle grows back, you can stand up again. I'll let you sit on my saddle. Thank the savior, it really does have a saddle. I really need to rest. Okay, he's gonna help us because we gave food. A part of us, of course. Still, I was getting car sick, not from the mood, but from the sensation of a hot body beneath me. Something moving alive and fragile, the thin column of someone else's spine bending under my weight as if it were about to break. But it's holding up its massive muscles whole over and over, lifting my weight with ease, the pounding of his powerful heart down onto my own. A new word came out of impenetrable like abyss I called memory. Monster. Alright, get down. For some reason, it always seems that from your height, you think something bad about me. The floor of the cave rose in ledge. There was an opening ahead. An infernally warm and bright glow lay on the flesh beneath my feet, drowning an orange trail. Where are we? You don't know where you came from. You don't know where you are going. So what difference does it make where you are now? I just... somewhere in between fools and demons, between defects and false souls, satisfied and... I've seen demons before. One, his name was Production Quota. Of course you did. How calmly he talks about it. No fear at all. Aren't you afraid? Aren't you suffering? No, I'm fine. Normal life. Nom. Clip clop. Of course, notions of normality and even life itself are a bit blurry in this place. Stripped. Torn. Spread out on the table. Examined and discarded. Don't you want to go to Berg? Everyone wants to go to Berg. To the city? Somehow, that simple question made my heart touch. Something in its voice, in its pronunciation, struck an invisible chord in the back of my mind. City. The porous concrete skin of the house, breathing heavily through the grated ventilation holes, the crooked poles of the streetlights stretching to the evergreen sky far above. The sky is salty and smells like seaweed. It was the seed that sent me here. It was the seed that broke and reassembled me, mixing up the pieces. What's in here? The beatings, the screaming, the labor? It's only the body that's being tormented here, on both toward here. In the seed they torture what is left untouched, what is not yet affected by this ugly semblance of life. What? The mind, of course. True, the mind is also broken before being sent here, but it's up to you to pick up the piece as you see fit. I put it together in a way that makes me happy and free. Sometimes I get beaten, of course. Peace of mind. Yes, I feel broken, wiped out, but is that a bad thing? It was calm and quiet in the void. Is that a bad thing? When they hit you? Well, how can I tell you? No, I mean, when the mind is broken, why put yourself back together? I don't want to. The horse sat silent for a while, staring at the wall with its blind muzzle. You got smashed up real bad, you run far away, you eye deep. You'll come back together whether you want or not. The lost piece will fit together, and then it's up to you to make sure if they fit effortlessly or they fit nicely into some picture. I have a picture of a horse, for example. A picture of a horse on a faintly flickering screen. Someone named a Sacred Server showed me these pictures. You don't look like a horse at all. You look like a woman? I told you that already. I'm just like you. Only prettier, stronger, grey, like this greyish blue meat on the walls. Here, look. But if you are a woman, why am I riding you? Isn't right. And you are not going. You will walk from here. Oh, it's safe. So they transform humans that go against the laws, and they transform into monsters to work underground. Huh. The air is so cold it hurts to breathe. The color of flesh on the walls thinned and retreated back into the caves as if in fear of the cold. Well, look at this. A wet and dank dampness and sunny dust, the cozy festering lanterns on the walls were left behind, scattered away from the rough bare stone, red candles barely enough to delineate the boundaries of the vast hall. I want to crawl back, slide under the hot blanket of flesh, curl up into a ball, and forget about these vile and damp winds. Where are we? Oh yes, between. We are getting smarter, but no, we are close to the demons. Lead yourself quietly, or don't. I'm the one leading you, after all. Where are we going? To the top? In short, yes. Technically, also yes. In the sense that you mean? No. But what's my sense? Wait, I know that myself. You got me all confused, you bloody horse. Call me confused, pop-out. I still haven't decided what I want. I haven't even decided what to do with the part that calls itself Josiah. But I'm already going somewhere. Is it my decision? Perhaps the horse was right. Perhaps I will never return to the void. Every step, every second gets me farther and farther away from the desired nothingness. And it makes no difference which way I step. Why did the flash stop? Are you talking about me? I think. No, I mean the walls. Oh, you mean Phil. It's the horse. Film is a soft tyrant. It can't live without admirers, or rather a soft vampire. Can't go in without invitation, and no one invited to the city, though in a way it's been there a long time. I don't know, I'm just a horse. How can a particle penetrate the thoughts of the whole? What do you think? I think you think. We can't be eaten? The question caught me off guard. Is anyone interested in my opinion? But I don't know what I think myself. Maybe this film needs to work too, to get it to work. To please production quota. Film works and suffers here in order to rest happily there. Haha, the city with all its complexity, harshness and grim pathos is just a way for film to rest, a break from itself. The horse had strayed into a quiet and monotonous muttering to itself. It fights to escape because she has to, but it sabotages itself in order to preserve the illusion of prison, in order to preserve the part of itself that can create the illusion of escape from itself, because it is, unfortunately, omnipresent and eternal. I don't understand. The fiend slits in the bones mask stares at me blindly. A sudden shivers ran down my spine. How could a creature with no eyes glare at me? You are insane. Me? One of us is insane, and it's definitely not me, but it's a great idea. I would love to discuss your theory some more, but we have to go. Go, yes, we have to. You are such a stalker. Let's go already. No wit to masks. Okay. It's funny, this horse treads so confident with its knuckles though the tangled and dark corridors, never hesitating for a second where it should go. But it seems that hopelessly lost in depths of its head. The farther we walk, the more cautious and slowly my guide stepped. Glowing bubbles appear on the bare stone walls, now strangely hard and bright, not all as cozy as before. There was a pattering noise and rumbling in front. Let's save. We had to crawl the last few meters. Lying between a stack of crates and a huge machine with wheels, I stared at the bustle of work ahead. The hot breath of horse behind my shoulder tickled my ear. You are right about one thing. Film is working hard with its enzymes. Meat goes in one orifice, and while valuable resources come out from the other. For some time I couldn't understand it. Why would film need all this nonsense? It's in the house of the city. Scripts sprouted in computers, penetrating minds. People eat it, drink it, sleep on it, shelter themselves with it. Why all the conventions with boxes? But your idea, yes, it could be it. It and that and it. What the devil is he talking about? You talk and talk about my idea, but I still don't understand anything. The tip is the consensus of many voices, get it? Piece of consciousness, like you and me, just put together into a picture of a horse. Our voices are always broken down into interest groups. Even the voice in our heads, what form those groups like, those ideas that they walk on, that pique their interest. They are our desires, our impulse, consciousness, thoughts. Come on, think, Josiah. It insists confused whisper came into my ear as I stared at the caravans of containers zipping into greedy gulch of the open gate. Suddenly, I felt dizzy with anger and fear. The voices in my head are clearly leaking ossification from now on. But form is what's on the surface. Beneath the surface is a deep sea ocean. There is a reason we call film a film. Ha ha ha. Film penetrates the city, but the city also penetrates it. Another group whose voices are needed for consensus. One more piece of consciousness getting to the mosaic. What are you trying to say? What are you driving at? The wish of film is simply a window of form and interest walking through consensus group, and one of those groups wants it to exist. What if the wind changes? Then the city will be blown away. The way the wind turns a cloud, looking like a tower, into a simple smoky smear in the sky. The city exists as long as film can see its outline in the patterns of clouds. A pattern of clouds? Have you seen clear skies and bright sunshine? Shh, of course I have. Move up, sooner or later you will hit the sky. Logical, right? It feels as if deep inside my soul, a closed window had opened. It let the flow of fresh air and clear blue expanse inside. I know what I want now. The crooked, hunchbacked Josie with pickaxe hand wants to please production quota, wants to go get into work. I want to go to the sky, I want to go outside. I remembered. Sneak into the fire elevator or stay to please production quota. So it say that we want to please. So stay to please production quota. These loads go upstairs. Hiding between the gates is easy. A horse hoof came down on my standard back, pinning me back to the ground. No, whoa, move up, not right now. That's not why I brought you here. Or that's why. It's hard to tell right now, I don't remember. Then why the bloody devil are we here? Someday I will understand why we start calling him David. After all, he should be skill lead, or at the very least manage lead. Woof woof. What? We are here to make sure of one simple thing. Only resources go upstairs. The products of film's life. But Shift Mars told me that you can get to the top if you work hard. Yeah, well, it didn't give you any details. You'll go upstairs as mortar for construction printing, and then you'll work hard as the door. I don't believe you. So what he says is that you don't go up to the city as alive, you go as meat, like cement, like work as a door or water, like that it seems. Okay. Of course I don't believe it. My heart clenched with start reinforced by a vague memory. Beings like us don't belong to the city. The horse is right. Yeah. But I can't crawl back into the mines after everything I have heard and seen. I won't stand any more the stuffy caves and the tight embrace of those I call family. A cramp of disgust ran down my spine. There must be another way. There must be a way out. You say it yourself about consensus groups. If one group wants the city to exist, there must also be a group that wants to get there. The horse sat silent against the wall, occasionally stepping on its front hooves, as usual a blind stare and perpetual shadow of a sneer on its face. I must have really lost my mind to trust this creature. Perhaps you can, but perhaps it's possible. There is one group, although you may not like their ideas about the way to get up there. Everything to get to the city in one piece. Yeah, about that. Okay, let's go. No, I'm not taking you for a ride. I didn't. Don't even talk to me into it. It was one time. I was out of my mind, and you were suffering from a wound. The wound that was caused by seeing my calf muscle that you ate. I remember it. The variety of corals and paths merged into a monotonous mess of wet, red-greyish flesh. Soon, I stopped discussing those places from others I've been to before. An ancient silhouette flashed through the side branch. Massive and spiky figures lurk around the corner in the distance. Each time, the horse somehow managed to dodge the encounters. We passed a few more caverns filled with flustering flesh and found ourselves in the hall, the likes of which I had certainly never seen before. Whoa, it's like lungs and a heart, right? It seems like that. So are you saying that the city is only as air like that because of this, like because of this underground, because this seems to be connected to up, right? So the lungs is passing air And the heart beating like that the city stays alive. Huh. Interesting. This is where we part, Josiah. I hand you over to the inhabitant of this hall. Unless, of course, you want to tear off yourself another piece. I mean, for me. Out of yourself. For me. No, it was one time and I wasn't myself then. Ha. Well, good luck coming to your sense and to the city. My four-legged guy took a few steps back into the corridor and immediately disappeared. It was as if he had vanished into the leisure moving walls. It was as if he had never existed. I didn't even have time to fake him. I didn't even ask his name. I hope we never meet him again. The translucent sacks rose and fell slowly around me. They tapered upwards into the thin stalks that wove into a tangled carpet of tubes overhead. In the center of it rose something. It was alive, breathing, shuddering with the pulse of huge hearts. For some reason, the word altar came to my mind. A bubbly mass trapped in a cage of huge bones, an altar, and around it was a temple. Beautiful, isn't it? The fuck is this now? Holy shit. Who are you? Here I'm Kai, just me. However, they took my family away much early. They took everything, leaving only life, the one thing they couldn't take away. Life and the role of conspirator. This role stuck to me more than I expected. Ha! Even here I can't get rid of it. I don't understand. I know my boy, I know. If the technicians did their job right, now you are like a baby, a child trapped in the terrible conditions. I'm not a child, I'm Josiah. Kai's puffy wrinkled face started even more. Beneath the overhanging fold of flesh, it was impossible to see her eyes. Is she happy or she sad? Seems like all at once. There is no worse fate than to keep the memory in this place. She shook her head and stopped talking. Her slender fingers pressed sharp against the fold of flesh beneath her throat, but immediately recoiled as if she were used to something else in that place. Doors told me that you know how to get into the city. Is that true? So it told you that I know, huh? That's a bit of exaggeration. I want to and I plan to get there, but that doesn't help you much, does it? I don't know, I only know what I was told. Kai let out a disgruntled sigh, causing a wave of movement to run through her cervical gut. She pointed her hand towards the altar. Do you know what it is? It's a seed, a magical being from which a tree grows all the way up to the sky, and we can climb this tree to get to the top. I look around at the red, slowly pulsating mass from which an open-work conduit actually stretched upward. It lurked in a tangle of wet vats on the ceiling. A beam? A tree? I don't actually know what a tree is, but it is definitely not one, because it's a lung. Ha! From the mouths of babes shall come the truth, right? It's a world turned inside out. No one knows what a tree looks like, but everyone knows what a lung is, or a liver, or a heart. However, now I see why. But what are the lungs doing here? Moreover, the lungs of this size. What they are doing, you ask? They are breathing, I suppose. They perform the function imposed on them by their form. I have an idea. I'll guess nothing more. I think that there are a lot of such monstrous trees. They are the ones that filter the air of the city. There we go. Purifying it from dust and dirt. It makes sense. If these huge breathing systems sprouted directly into the city, it means... I squinted, tried to get a closer look at the bone duct. Will I be able to squeeze into it? Don't squint so hard. You won't see the most important thing from here. There is a great distance between this damned hell and the city, much more than you think. Even if you somehow manage to break your arms out of their joints and climb into the tube, the city is separated from the caves by a 10-meter solid barrier. There are passageways for the air, but not for you, unless you are in a liquid state. How do you know that? Do you think I'm the first person? I guess that's my gift. A gift of finding allies and followers in the most unexpected place. My gift, my curse, my destiny. Call it what you want. Okay, so it's not the first time that someone thinks, but nobody could pass through this. Okay. Damn. But the horse promised me that I will get help here. However, its wording was very vague. I think I've been fooled. Yeah, I put more strongly when I first heard it. I'm lost. It's as if the world has really gone mad and it's groaning at itself now. The city lives on this, film as they call it here, like mold on cheese, two parts of the same whole. Film talks to people, interferes with computer records, groans in the walls of house. There we go. But throughout it all, the city and film are somehow miraculously separated. The meat stays here, the order is being kept here, there. How? Why? Insanity. The horse told me that film is a consensus. Yes, that's it. Consensus of many voice interest groups, and one of those groups wants the city to exist. Kai stepped back excitedly. The flashy folds on her body swelled and rippled with the blood that filled them. It seemed that if she touched them with the tip of her pickaxe, the old Kai would burst into bloody shreds with a loud pop. It's a crazy idea, but it explains so much. It explains this contradiction. A surprising human trait, isn't it? However, if you remember that this monster is made of human beings, it absorbs all our weakness along with the meat. Haha. I'm glad you like the idea. The horse thinks I came up with it. Maybe you really did. Who am I to argue with a horse? Here we go again. You couldn't even tell from her face whether she was mocking me or not. Those deep wrinkles could well have been a smile. You said you have a gift of finding allies. Do you think you could ally yourself with this part of film, the part that wants to get into city? Using my own words against me, how clever. Your memory is damaged, but your mind is sharp, isn't it, Josiah? But I can't, I'm old. They say that with age comes wisdom. I never felt that thing in me. Mostly people mistook my grumpiness for wisdom. But with age comes something else. Fear. Fear of everything new, of everything incomprehensible. And everything monstrous, of course. She raised her hand and looked at it. A large shiver ran through her body. This body, this horrible, unbearable clothing, this parody of clothes, this is the best alliance with film that I'm willing to make. Fortunately, I don't think we'll need an alliance with film. After all, I have an alliance of people eager to leave this place, people like you. It's as if this painful destiny haunts me. It is terrible destiny to create the non-resistance all around me again and again, wherever I go. But we have a plan again. Fine, of course she must speak. I'll be your ally. Anything to get into the city. You don't know it, but it's not just a chaos of meat and bones and guts down here. This place is a real cauldron in which flesh is processed and transformed, and probably souls too. I don't even want to think about it. Yes, that's right. My friend got here processed veg into soup. Soup? My boy, what did you go through before you came to me? It wasn't bad soup, it was a little sour. For a moment she covered her mouth with the palm of her hands. Okay, alright, look. I've never been strong in science, but that's the benefit of teaming up with other people. They know what you don't know. One of my allies can make an explosive out of whatever this damn place produces. Amines, formaldehyde, toluene, and acids, and other clever words. Organic formulas that were once human bodies. You want to blow up? Those explosions again. I'm spiraling through my life like a jammed needle on a record. I can't wait for this annoying composition to end. Yeah, I want to pump the goddamn brunchy full of explosives down their throats and light the fuse. Give the city a good cough. The whites of her wide open eyes gleamed in the darkness that accumulated beneath her hood. I staggered, trying to find a way back into the caves with my hand behind me, but ran into a soft wall. Are you afraid of casualties? But no one can die here. Are you afraid of being judged? After you get to the top, there will be no one to judge. I'm afraid of you. But I need to get out of here. As long as the path leads me upstairs, it's the right path. What should I do? Just ask. It's a small but important role. You should ask the Polymer Lake Guard is at what price you will ask for a brief access to the lake itself. Don't be afraid. Everyone has a price, even the demons in hell. Price or vulnerability. It doesn't have to be money. It could be another person, an idea, or a dream. Show me the way to the lake. Good boy. Kay moves through the slippery flesh-covered corridors with surprising dexterity. She waddled and twitched frankly, but it seemed as if it was only for show, or maybe out of habit. The passageway we walked through grew wider and wider, opening into dark halls of other caves, from which all sorts of sounds and smells could be heard and smelled. Soon all smells disappeared under a layer of heavy, acrid and tart starch. The farther we walked, the thicker it became. It seemed as if it would eat away at my skin and create my muscles. I blinked desperately, barely keeping myself from wiping my eyes with my hands. Kaya stopped when a large owl appeared in front of her. Most of the floor was a circular hollow filled with slow-moving soup, almost the same as the one in Goiter's stomach. That's the damn place. It's amazing how easily man surpasses his own wildest fantasies about hell, how easily it does to its own kind. It's as if you were created by someone specific for horrible things. Okay, so it's here that is created soup. There I go again, all blurry. Do you remember what we have to do? Just ask. That's right, now go. I went walked toward and entered the polymer lake hall. Huge pipes really lap up the contents of the pit, but the level of the lake does not diminish. How many vegetables does it take to fill this huge stomach? I walk along the edge some more and look around. I couldn't see Kai anymore. I could stop and think. She wants to blow up the city. What's more, she wants to let film into the city. What will be the consequence? Whose side I'm on? What siege will bring me close to the sky? Yes, it will open the way for us to go up. Yes, if we were truly immortal, no one will die. But do we have the right to condemn others to such suffering, to this terrible fate? Someone else up there obviously thinks he has that right. It's not of my own free will I will end up here. Someone else will. Someone else plan. I bang my fist on my head in despair. Stupid, deceived, and lost Josiah. How can I make a decision if I don't understand anything? Can I help you? In the guard of Polymer Lake, I was too deep in thought and I didn't see him coming. What to do? I have to stall for time. What? I have bigger fist and I hit harder. I can help you break your head. No, thank you. I'm already done. Then soak back into the mines. Right. Quickly. Is there right about that? I need to make a decision and fast. Okay. So she said to gain time. So ask her about the price of materials from the lake. As I said, that's the benefit of teaming up with other people. They know what you don't know. If she developed this plan, I can rely on it, even if I don't know all the details myself. Can my friends take some materials from the lake? What? He didn't even seem angry. Apparently that question took him by surprise. The ugly bone-clad face showed only genuine surprise. Just name your price. Any price in exchange for a small portion of soup from the lake. Name your friends. Tell me where they are. How's that for a price? He doesn't seem to be willing to take the deal. I'll go and see if they are then. I barely had time to take a few steps back when the guard suddenly threw away his trident to the side and rushed towards me. What? Such friends they are if they sent you here. What are their names? Where are they? I don't know, don't remember. So it was a trap that that woman said. Oh, come on. The world array filled with shades of red turned purple. The blood pounded in my temples. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Kai emerge from the cave, kneel down and crawl to the edge of the lake. She hunkered down and began sucking the liquid slowly into herself. The folds of flesh on her body swelled into sacs. Look at me. I'll rip out your lungs and put your guts in their place. You'll shit up with your nose if you don't tell me. I tried to answer, but the claw paw squeezed my throat too tightly. The bloated Kai crawled back into the caves like a fat maggot, leaving a wet trail on the floor behind her. Learning from other people's mistakes, huh? I see. Stubborn, respectable, you get an easy fate for that. So she tricked us. My neck crunched, setting one last flash of pain in my brain, and then the demon threw me straight in the middle of Polymer Lake in one swift move. So we are alive yet, okay? A terrible pain swallowed up the whole world and was replaced with itself. Pain instead of sounds, pain instead of smells. It is impossible to get used to it. It is impossible to think because of it. But gradually the pain goes away. It doesn't subside. It doesn't get weaker. Just the parts of the body that can feel it disappear, one after another. The body divides into parts, to divide into parts, to divide into parts, to... There is no pain. The pain is gone, talking my thoughts and desires with it. It has scorched away the stupid, unnecessary memory. There are fewer and fewer things that still remember how to be me. Others are slowly floating around me. Are they going somewhere? They are only in peace. Here they lose top layer of skin, the one I lost long time ago. After that, another layer a little deeper is gone, and another. The nasal cartilages are exposed. Then they disappear to leaving behind only holes, faces I erased from bodies, as they have already been erased from memory. I don't remember my face, it's already up there somewhere. Sometimes something long and hard appears among us. It stirs stagnant company, mixing up the solution of bodies. After that, disintegration accelerates. For some reason, this pleases me. Ah yes, of course it does. I'm going to reach the top, just like I always wanted. I will fill the walls with myself. I will fill the molds for plastic. I will fill the fuel tanks. I will fill their stomachs. My bones are their support. My muscles are their breath. My blood is their water. I'm invisible interlocutor, the comforter, the friend who calls out to the lonely through steel and concrete. I am the city. Oh, ending. Polymer Lake. So this is one of the ends, is that we die and we become the city. That is like to know the truth about the city, is that when these monsters, right, when the people that are created to become monsters, when they die, they become the city. Like it said, our blood is the water, I'm concrete, I'm in everywhere of the city. So it shows that when you die, you become the city, a part of the city, showing that everything that city is all about those monsters on the underground that nobody knows. That lung that is giving the air, like cleaning the dirt of the air, like that people can breathe. So it shows that that city is a fantasy, right? Like nothing that people think is real is not. It's all made like if people don't respect the laws, they will be transformed into monsters to work underground. Those people that follow the laws stay on the city. Interesting. So you need to be careful with your choice. Of course, maybe in there, instead of try to ask a question to that guard, maybe you can say that do you have other choice that say it was K's plan, we point to K, and maybe you can run, maybe, and like that we don't die yet, and we can try to figure out other way to reach to the top. Who knows, like, because the developers, what they have on Steam page, they say there's a lot of endings that is going to from bad to awful. Maybe awful is us dying.
Bad to worse.
To worse, like awful. They say awful, I think they say. Worse? Bad to worse. I think worse is dying. And we know the truth that how it is the city, right? You know that people that die become part of the city. What can be the bad is that we go up and people see us as a monster and they try to kill us. Who knows? But at least I got an ending. I got an ending at least. Of course, it's not the best one, right? We die in there, but it's for you. Like, I don't know if we, instead in the beginning, if we say surrender instead of try to refuse. We say surrender. Maybe we're not from to here, to these mines. We are not become a monster and we still continue in city. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities to try it. Like in the beginning you can say don't post it, let's get the data be classified, and something is different. Is that an ending too? There's a lot of things to try, like you can see that there is a lot of replayability. Of course, you die, okay, you try again to be different choice, but it's an ending at the same time, because you need to see every ending, because in your gallery you can see the image that you have, like I missed some, maybe it's through other choice that I need to do, that unlocks, see a lot of miss when you die.
But that's from the beginning.
This on beginning too, it's like interesting. This when you see our hand, when you die, nothing more. Like there's a lot of gallery that I missed, because at the same time in the beginning when you go read that emails, we have tons of emails, but I went to the important. Maybe if you see the others, you can read the others and then go to the important, or you miss the important. There's a lot to see. It's like you can see that in terms of replayability, the game has a lot. It's a lot that they have. Of course, when developers say 5 to 10 hours, maybe it's like, okay, I died, right? Let me lower it and choose other option to move forward, right? It can take more time because of that, to try to find not to die, right? But then you want to see, let me see if I not transforming into a monster, if there is the possibility of not transforming into a monster, right? Like that data be secure, not posted. So there's a lot of choice. In terms of artwork, very good. I like the artwork, like when you are seeing and when you see like this, like when you see that monster, like when he's killing us, like amazing. The characters are crazy, like Norse, like that. They are crazy. Yes, the story in the beginning you are like, what is happening, like that, but then you start to understand everything about the city, understand that what happened to the people that are discarded, right? You are transformed into a monster, so you start to understand what is happening to those people, and you see that a lot of people were discarded. Then you understand how those monsters eat, because some monsters die and they are transformed into meat to the others to eat. So there's a lot of things. It's kind of like you start confused, but you start to understand a little bit always. Book, book, book. Small steps, baby steps. But overall, it's a good game. I have to say, it's a good game. Now you need to find is try to find how to get other endings, not to die. Of course, when you die, okay, let me lower and go to the other. Try to other choice to see if I can move forward. It's like on that card, could I go to that card and go immediately to the top? Maybe not, because we had that horse with us, so maybe they will find that. So that was a death too. But in here, it's like it's easy to understand that now I understand that we need to say that was Kai's plan, and maybe you could walk forwards. But at least I showed one of the ends that is dying. Then it's like you need to find others. But overall, good game. One thing that I always say is like, even that the game has multiple endings and one of them is dying, right? I can understand that I didn't reach to the end of the game. I can see that, okay, I need to decipher what is the other choice that moved to the city to reach to the top, right? But for what developers say, it's around 5 to 10 hours to beat the game. They don't say if it's one playthrough or not. But it's around 5 to 10 hours, and like I always say, for games that have multiple ends, 2 to 3 hours max, like that the player can, okay, I reached to one ending, right, okay, I beat the game, because there are certain games that you don't die, you reach to the end, right, and like that you see one ending, and then, okay, let me see other ending, other paths at the same time, right, and like that they can. And here, for what they say, is around 5 to 10 hours, so you need to, okay, I died, now need to go to others to choose other. No, I die again, go for the other, and then you go and you beat, and you reach to the end to see the end, and then, okay, now I need to start over everything, so that's why I say 2 to 3 hours like that. You could see everything of the game immediately for one ending, then you can play again to find other ending. So that's why I say like that. If they all have one ending, even if they have paths, right, different paths, but only one ending, I'll say always max 4 hours, because like that people don't get, like I always said, people don't get tired and they can beat the game in one sitting. Like, okay, I play it, I beat it, I saw the story, how it is. Now if I want to try again to see all the paths that gonna lead to the same ending, right, but see different conversations that exist in the game, let me see. But because people, like, I understand developers from this perspective, that to make people to say, okay, it's worth the price that it is, I understand that, but at the same time developers need to see from perspective of the players. If you have multiple endings, players want to see the other endings at the same time, so that's why it's better to see to 2-3 hours. And if you only have one ending, for us, because even playing visual novels, people can get tired, because you understand there's a lot of texts, a lot of reading, so people get tired. So developers at the same time, they need to put on see the perspective of the players at the same time, to see that players want to beat the visual novels in one day only. That's what always. It's always hard to put, but it's what I think. It's my opinion. It's not a criticize. It's my opinion only. That I think it's always bad to be like that, in terms of longevity. But overall, it's a good game. Of course, I need to lower the game now to see try to move forward to see what will happen in front. But it's like, if you are a big fan of visual novels, the game is already available. You go to Steam, Athanasy, you will find the game there. I think it's €8 only. Of course, there is some cents at the same time, but I think it's €8. So very cheap for what the game offers. Yeah, €8 and 19 cents. So very cheap for what the game offers. And you're gonna have a good time with the game, a lot of replayability for the game at the same time. If you are not a big fan of visual novel, I will recommend to buy it. Like, give it a try, because I think you're gonna enjoy it, because it's not a romance visual novel, nothing like that. It's horror plus bio-horror at the same time, and mystery at the same time, everything together. So I think you will enjoy it. So give it a try, because I think you're gonna like it, the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough of Athanasy. Yes, I only have one ending, but at the same time it's already late for me. So, but it's good, the game. It's worth. So hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.